Welcome back, my friends, for another fun reloading video. Today we're just going to be catching up here and chatting a little bit and talking about some of this crap you see here in front of me. So let's get on with it. So I've been trying to get to this for about 3 weeks now. The last range trip was for the 357 Magnum chronograph data for those videos that we've been able to get out. But we never made it to the rifle range. We were there all day working on pistol stuff, so no big deal there. However, there were a couple of dude bros that pulled up and dumped about 200 pieces of, some Lake City 5.56 into the berm and, said they were zeroing their red dots, and they were like, all right, cool, peace. So I got all their brass. I've already sized and trimmed and prepped all that stuff. So there's roughly 200 brand new pieces of brass, and they're all mine. Also, the same day I was prepping all that, I got done, and I might have been doing a little bit of day drinking that day or something, but who knows? Anyways, I got bored and I ran out of that to play with, so I was like, I have some NATO head stamped 9mm with crimped pockets. Let me play with that stuff. So I sized all those, punched the primers out, and then I went ahead and actually reamed some of the crimps out of them, so you can see that ledge. And, there's no shortage of other 9mm brass, but I felt like testing it out, seeing what it would do. But there we go, I have some more brass for the 9mm pile. I just need to get all this tumbled and get all the lube and stuff cleaned off and the shavings and whatnot, so cool beans there. Also, further in the world of brass prep, I decided that it was time to work on 38 Special since I had done all of my 357 Magnum cases. So what you see here is about a third of my 38 Special cases I've been able to get to so far. So these have all been tumbled and ready to go, so they're all purdied up. And I was actually testing out the primer pocket uniformer, but it barely touched any of the cases there, so it basically was a glorified scraper, cool beans, but I don't think it had any effect on any of these pieces really. Maybe a couple of them got touched up. So for the most part, it was a total waste of time to add that step into the brass prep process. So I'll probably go without that in the future. But it's cool to know that all these were properly sized or uniformed from the factory, I guess. And yeah, so those are the ones that are done. These have all been sized, but they still need trimmed and all that other fun stuff. So this is just going to be an ongoing project where I'll be able to get to maybe 15 or 20 or 50 of them in a night. But it's just something to do. And I know that all my cases are going to get the same uniform crimp and all that fun stuff. So you do it once with this sort of stuff and you don't have to worry about it after that. You might be wondering why I was all ready to prep all the brass, but an anonymous user, or rather a viewer who wants to remain anonymous, sent this over to the channel. This is the Lyman case prep station. It has 5 stations now. I'm used to 4 that I had over on the Frankfurt Arsenal, but just check out how quiet this baby is. Holy moly. That sucker's really quiet compared to the Frankfurt Arsenal. I did all those cases back here and all of the 38 Specials, just testing it out, and I'm a fan. It is a bit more expensive, probably around $160 to $180 at this time if you were to go out and buy it, but it's a very nice unit and I'm sure Lyman will back it up if anything were to go wrong with that. So thanks again to Mr. Anonymous, you number 1. I very much appreciate it. And just look at all that brass shavings and primer pocket gunk we were able to scrape up into the nice little catchy tray pan there. Very nice. So yes, on with the range report. While I was picking up my brass, and usually when I go to pick up lead, one of the range officers will come and, we'll just chat and whatever, if it's slow, whatever. He mentioned the owners had sold the rights to the lead from the berm, and I was no longer to pick any lead from the berm. So my source, my honey hole, it's gone, folks. I gotta find a new place to get lead. However, there's probably 10 to 15 tire and car shops on my way to and from work. So I could probably start hitting those guys up and see if I can start getting in on any of the wheel weights. And maybe we'll go from there. But if you guys have any other sources of cheap or free lead, let me know down in the comments. I know people hit up scrap yards and they trade their scrap brass or copper jackets from their previous lead processing, trade that for scrap lead. But let me know what you guys do down below, because I need to find something ASAP. And the other week I was just cruising on by the local shop and I stopped in there. They didn't have any primers because I think old SCB stopped by and grabbed them all. He's been hoarding all the primers lately from, you know, Tennessee gun country over there. But picked up a pound of 700X. I think it was 22 bucks or somewhere around there. Not bad. You guys know it's one of my favorites here on the channel, and I was on my last bottle, so now I have a backup. That's always a great feeling. Know what I'm saying? And from Midway, they got some Lee molds in stock, and I've been waiting to get this one, the 312 155 2R. I have this in a 2 cavity, but dang, that's really slow. So I needed the 6-banger. So now I just need to get a set of molds, or, you know, do the old swap with one I'm not using that day. But I'm excited to try this out on my next casting session. Crank out some 300 blackout food. So yeah, very cool. Excited to play with this, get it broken in, and get to loading some more 300 blackout. But again, gonna need to looking for some lead. I mean, I have reserves, but I don't want to take from the reserves when I used to just cast and then use that. You know, what am I gonna do? Okay, sorry for being dramatic. It's not that big of a deal. I'm a big boy. I will figure it out. So moving on back to the range trip. I'm all over the place today here, folks. Back to the range trip. We tested our 9mm 115 grain berries versus the 115 grain XTP. So this is what we came up with while using a Ruger P95 and a Springfield Hellcat. So up here is our 115 grain XTP. This group here was our P95. Over here is our Hellcat. Pretty much the same group. Hellcat might be a little tighter there actually. We were at 15 yards. And here's some chronograph data for the XTPs. Our average feet per second here between the 4.5-inch P95 and the 2.5-inch maybe Hellcat. Right under 1,100 feet per second for the P95, and our Hellcat just at 1058. Pretty close. It seems like we're getting a full burn from our long shot, so that's good to know. And extreme spread, really close between the two. Standard deviation 10 and 13 between the two different barrels. That's pretty freaking awesome. I'm actually pretty surprised the numbers were this close as far as the spreads go, and only having a 40 feet per second difference between like 2 inches of barrel, you know? Pretty cool stuff. And as you can see, this is a little bit slower velocity here, so it's a little bit lower on the paper, but it's pretty much the same. If I can do my part and learn how to shoot, I'd say this is a pretty good representation of what we can do between multiple firearms. And the bottom target here we have our P95 group, and then our Hellcat again. 4 of them here, 1 off to the side, and then 5 there. Yippee! Chronograph data. Here we have an even closer spread between average velocities. P95 hitting 1061, Hellcat 1043. However, our extreme spread over here on the P95, these numbers are a little crazy looking. 70 feet per second here, 16 for the Hellcat. Deviation also 5 times as much. We're down to single digits right here with a 5-shot group. 30 feet per second on the P95, but it seems like it worked much better over here for some reason. However, the berries here we have seeded out a lot farther than the XTPs, so I'm sure if we threw in a little bit more powder, we'd get the case fill just right, and we could probably tighten these numbers up in this longer barrel and, you know, go from there. But who knows, as far as I can tell, our average velocities right around 1060, I would say that this berries load is a pretty good training analog for the XTP here. So if anyone's trying to do that, you don't have to buy 10,000 XTPs at 2 or 3 times the cost of a plated bullet. And also, if you cast, free bullets, haha. I just had these laying around, wanted to load them up, and they'll probably just stay there for now to be on hand. So that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today. I do want to, however, say thanks to everybody for helping get to 1,000 subscribers. Holy moly, I didn't think I would get here in 10 months, but your guys' support has been incredible, unmatched. I totally appreciate all you guys have done, sent to me, supported the channel just by liking it or being subscribed. You guys are freaking awesome. So one day here, I don't have a date set. If you're watching this in 5 years from now, obviously watch for the replay, but I'm going to be doing a live stream loading up 1,000 rounds for 1,000 subs, right? Should be pretty fun, so come hang out. It'll probably take several hours. We'll probably be doing a 9mm 38 special or 223 or some combination of those that we can throw on the Dillon. Should be pretty fun, so watch out for that. If you want to help support the channel in another way, you can feel free to join the Dummy Round compound and join the channel membership. Should be activated by the time you're seeing this video. Also, feel free to stop over at patreon.com/dummyround and support the channel over there as well. Please know, I don't expect any of you guys to actually do this. However, it is greatly appreciated. So everything will be going back into the channel here to give you guys a more professional production, because I'm doing this off my phone with a crappy little microphone I got from Amazon for $10 freaking. So I want to give you guys a better presentation if I can, as well as upgrade some of my gear and get a proper scope and setup to actually shoot some groups on paper and give you guys real test results instead of me just shooting with open iron sights or red dots, being a dummy. And I want to be able to give you guys real data. So there you go. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out. We will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more. Have a good one.